Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. I'm currently sat in a VW ID.4 and I've got to cover over 200 miles today, and so I'm just going to take you along with me and show you a bit of my day and a bit of reporting on mileage we get out of this car, real world range, efficiency, charging and that kind of thing. Now, I've had an ID.4 before, that was back 8 months ago, and there's a video on our channel where we drove that car from Edinburgh all the way down to the south coast in one day, and I thought it was a great car, but there were, you know, a couple of issues with the software, and so I'm interested now to kind of report what an ID.4 is like 8 months later. It's a different car, but it's of the same age. It's also a first edition like that one I had then, and this car's covered nearly 6,000 miles. It's had some software updates, and today we're going to cover be about 250 miles, I think, wouldn't it, Serge? So yeah, we're going to cover about 250 miles today. So let's take you along our journey with us and let you know if we still like the VW ID.4. Okay, so what's the plan today then while we're filming this? I had this car at home last night, charged it to 100%, which showed a range of over 250 miles. So 250 miles in normal mode or 255 in eco. But its range, I think, does vary based on how it's been driven. It's probably been driven quite reasonably. This car's got just under 6,000 miles. Today is dry and it's currently showing as 11.5 degrees, so it's not particularly cold. But it was plugged in, charged and preheated to 100% when I left home at 8 o'clock this morning. I then did a school run through town, lots of traffic. I then did my commute to work, and then me and Sergio got in the car because we have to drive from our showroom in New Milton and we're going up to Harpenden in Hertfordshire, so up near Luton, and that is to collect a Kia EV6. So there'll be some more videos, as you can imagine, with Kia EV6 versus ID.4, what they like for range comparison, space, charging, practicality and all that kind of stuff. But let's follow you with this car today and just check, you know, is this software now resolved and how we get on for efficiency in the real world, what the range is in the real world and what we end up doing for charging. I haven't planned anything yet, we'll see how we go. But we're going to be covering pretty solid 230 to 250 miles. So this will be a real world day in the life of the VW ID.4. And I do actually quite like being back in one again, actually.
Yeah, feels nice.
It's comfortable to be in. I do love these armrests here. What I have noticed so far is wireless Apple CarPlay now works. I couldn't get it to work before, but it does now work on this car. So that's a good start. Let's follow this around there. Got a bit of traffic at the moment. So the first section of this journey here is going to be through the New Forest, which is a beautiful part of the country, and our showroom is right on the edge of the forest. So that's a nice beginning and end to our journeys to and from work. And the sun's just rising up through the trees there now, and it looks lovely, especially in autumn at this time of year. Just got to watch out for the ponies and the donkeys and the cattle and the pigs and stuff like that, but a nice part of the world. So the first bit of the journey here, I've done the city driving, I've done the school run. We've got about 20 miles of kind of A road, and then we're going to be in a motorway. So actually most of the miles covered today will be 70 miles per hour motorway. We're not going to try and hypermile it, we're just going to drive at the speed limit, and I think it will warm up given the sun is out and the sky is clear. Town, and what we've done so far, 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour is the average for this car over the 27 miles we've already done today, and the car's reporting 225 miles of range remaining. So let's see how we go. So as I get in this car today, I remember it being softer, and it is softer than the Model 3 and Model Y. It still has that slight firm edge to it. It's about to come over a bump. Let's see what happens. It absorbed that reasonably well, but you still felt it. And a lot of cars are firmer. It's one of the criticisms I make of the Tesla Model Y. So again, I can offer some comparisons. I have now driven the Model Y. Again, see other videos for that. We've driven the Hyundai Ioniq 5 a lot as well, a fair bit. And that is softer than this. Our Hyundai Ioniq 5's got a softer ride than this, but this is softer than the Model Y, if that makes sense. But this is where it'll be interesting to see with the Kia EV6 how that fits in, and we'll obviously be making other videos on that one there. But we're coming around now, out the New Forest, and we're about to hit the motorway, and we'll see how the average, now the cars are warm of course as well, it's a 3.1 miles per kilowatt an hour, and see how that changes on the motorway. The lane assist is annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit.
You can turn it off, but it comes on again every time. And so as you just experienced driving through a country road like that, where we do cross over white lines regularly because the roads are narrow, it just keeps nudging the steering wheel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's just annoying.
It is a bit annoying because it's like, what is he doing? I know what I'm doing, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a safety thing, and unfortunately it's on quite a few cars now. And on the Tesla you can just turn it off, But yeah, loads of cars I've driven, and Peugeot E208, it's always on, turn it off each time, turn it comes back on. The Hyundai iX5 is the same, and I think the EV6 will probably be the same as that, given they share a lot of the same software and DNA. What trying to do there? I don't want to use voice control. What's triggered voice control? I'll tell you what's triggered voice control is because these haptic buttons go away. Cancel voice control. Cancel voice control. Go away.
For example,
go away. Shh. Stop voice control. Isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a quiet, smooth car on the motorway.
Yeah.
We're doing surge just over 70. We're doing 70 miles per hour now. And it is notably quiet and well insulated. It's easy to have a conversation, even if we whisper and everything like that. It is, this is what I remember from before. It's a nice, good cruiser and very quiet and comfortable. Here we are, so the ID.4's just got to 50% battery, so it's used half its battery today, and what have we covered? We've covered 122 miles, so in theory, that's 144 miles full charge. So we averaged so far 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour, so not bad. I just looked back at our, what have I pressed there? I just looked back at our video of the when we drove this from Edinburgh, and it was also 11.5 degrees then as well. But today has warmed up to 13 degrees now. Serge's more efficient driving than mine. So we've just arrived at Harpenden Kia, and I can see my new EV6 parked just over there. Looks very nice, and a similar blue to this actually. And maybe we can use their charger there, Serge. Yeah. Just top up the charge on this a bit, and we can probably just go straight back then. We'll see, we'll make a plan in a minute, but here we are at Kia. Quick stop whilst we sort out the collection of this new car. Handy, nice of them. Okay, so we've picked up the Kia, and we are at Toddington Services on the M1. Now, we don't need to charge this to get back actually, it's a 52%, but we want to now film the video with this side by side with the Kia and compare the with the Kia and compare the efficiency of the two and the real world range. So we are going to just stop for lunch at Toddington Services here, top this charge up to 90%, actually that's at 92%, so try and go 92%. Doesn't really need to, but we can measure how much energy we use. But nonetheless, we'll try and get to the same state of charge because it's easier to compare. So let's grab some lunch and then we'll get going with this car when it's at 92%. Okay, so we've arrived back at our base with the ID.3, and it's been a very comfortable car to drive today. So what have we done? Well, in total today, I've covered 269 miles with just over 6 hours of driving time. And the whole day I've averaged 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, and both on the sort of morning drive up and then on the return drive back, which we've just driven in convoy with this Kia EV6, so check out our video to see how that efficiency compares to this car. But basically on the morning session and this afternoon session, the real world range has worked out that it's covered on the morning 120 miles and 50% of the battery, and this afternoon 125 miles and 50% of the battery. So I'm going to put the real world range of this car, mainly on the motorway today at 70 miles an hour, at 240 to 250 miles. Achievable, which I think is pretty good. And actually in the real world that's pretty similar to a Tesla Model 3 and a Model Y long range. So we have driven the Model Y on a couple of occasions and we paired it to our Model 3 long range, and they were almost identical distances in economy. Now Model 3 I've driven a lot, so I know exactly what that range is in that car, and I think although they tend to get better efficiency, more like today's conditions would have been about 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour out of those cars. So again, we're not particularly trying, but driving sensibly at the speed limit, but not trying. They would get 3.8-ish miles per kilowatt hour, but the usable capacity on the Y and the 3 long range is less than these. This has got about 77 usable, same as the EV6, but they've got about 75 gross and less usable. So they actually work out to all be about the same efficiency and range, so about 250 miles. I did a trip yesterday, which was a bit more in the Model 3, 260 to 70 miles potentially, but there really isn't a vast amount in it. So the lack of efficiency with the ID.4 compared to a Y is made up for by that slightly bigger battery. Charging speeds, well, this ID.4, we've featured its charging speeds before on the video where I drove it from Edinburgh all the way back to Bournemouth in one go, well, one drive, one day. And we had the charging speeds in there, which basically it reached 80% in about 40 minutes and the best part of an hour to recharge fully. So what we've done today for charging was we just had the little charge when we were collecting that Kia kind of let us plug it in and we charged there, and that was enough to drive back. We happened to go on and charge this car as part of another video, but we didn't really need it. So if you were covering 270 miles today in this car, a very short charge is all that's needed. So it's a rapid charger, literally a couple of minutes, and where we charged at Kia was just a slower 7 kilowatt type charger, and we were there for probably 45 minutes, and that would have been enough for it to charge and drive back in one go. So to cover 270 miles in a day in an ID.4, absolutely no problem at all. What about the software? Any crashes, any bugs like 8 months ago when I drove the other one? Nope, absolutely fine. Working perfectly, nav working perfectly, wireless Apple CarPlay working perfectly. So I think it's good to report that I'm confident that VW have probably sorted out the sort of software bugs in the earlier software versions. So I'm going to call it a wrap for that. It's a nice car. I always find this a comfortable, quiet car to be in. Today, no exception at all. It's been a pleasure. It's a nice all-rounder. It's cheaper than a Tesla Model Y. It goes just as far, and see how it compares to the Kia. Well, we're going to do some more videos on that soon, but in terms of ID.4, 8 months later, covering 270 miles a day, it's all good. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Stay subscribed for some more videos with this car and the Kia, and obviously some more with Model Y. We've done some already, but we of course have a Model Y in order, and they're anticipating the early part of 2023 for delivery in the UK. So we'll see how that goes. We might do some practicality comparisons now we've got this back at base in the Kia as well. But right, I'm going to stop talking for now. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching.